Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to Afghan Cooks. My name is Miriam, I'm the Afghan who cooks, and today we are going to be making an Afghan staple. Look, I have worked so hard on this one because I messed it up a lot of times. I wanted to get it perfect. I wanted it to be so perfect that you would never have to mess it up as many times as I do. This is called Afghan brown rice. If you go to a restaurant, if they ask you what white rice or brown rice, and you say brown rice, do not expect a nutty, crunchy, whole grain goodness type of thing. No, it is sela rice that we color with a caramelized coloring. Let's make it. Now, friends, I have struggled, and I think that most of us have, with creating the caramelized. If you're Afghan, you've struggled, and you're not your mom or your grandma with the caramelized syrup part. I myself have struggled to get it right. So I'm going to show you how I do it because it's the only way I have figured out how to do it. So we're going to add our oil to this pan. It's a half a cup of oil. You can see it's nice and hot. And to this hot oil, it's about medium heat. This is 4 tablespoons of sugar, which is 1/4 of a cup. I'm going to use half of this. It's 2 tablespoons of sugar. And I have soaked already 3 cups of rice. I know there are people who make this and they, just caramelize it in the pan and then they add the water, and more power to them. That's not my life. I don't know that life. I need it to get beyond this stage where it's a nice brown sort of caramel color. You're going to see what's going to happen now is it's going to foam up. And once the foamy part of it is gone, you're going to get the color that's exactly what you want. See, some of this is foaming up. And that's the color you want right there. That nice, very dark color. And now we're going to turn this off, okay? We're going to let this cool down. What you don't want to do is add water to it right now. How do I know? I've done it. You see a lot of recipes that say then add water. But what they don't tell you is you have to wait until it's cool. If you add water right now, you will be injured. خطرناك دي شا ما تغور جوينسا وس وباب مور أتشوا. I'm going to take that off the heat and set it aside. And we're going to work on our actual rice. To this pot of water, I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of salt. We want the water to be very, very salty, okay, because that's the salt in the rice. And I have already soaked and rinsed this rice. Okay, actually do the other way around. I rinsed it and then I soaked it. And this has been soaking for a couple of hours now. I get asked a lot what kind of rice I use. I only use one brand of rice, okay? Only one brand, and that's Aahu Barah. They are the OG of Afghan sela rice brands. They have been in business since 1994. It's family owned. It's run by some remarkable women right now. And look, I can tell Aahu Barah rice by feeling it. If you feel it's like a silky smooth texture in this rice. And you don't need to let it soak for 3 or 4 hours. I was busy filming other things, doing other things, so I did. But you don't have to. This rice you can literally soak for 20 minutes and it will. Rice is such a staple of our cuisine, of Afghan cuisine, of the cuisine of a lot of cultures, that we become very intimidated in cooking it, right? We know the people that do it really well, and then the rest of us are just like, no, we'll make like lasagna, which is great. I love lasagna. But one of the ways we can make sure that our rice, our dishes turn out well is by using high quality ingredients, and ingredients that kind of guarantee that the outcome is going to be good. So if you use a cheaper rice, you have to have much better technique in cooking that rice to make it taste as good as something like Aahu Barah, which is a superior product in and of itself, and that you actually have to work to screw up. Now, mind you, I've done it before. I have screwed it up, but not because of the rice, because my technique was that bad. But I'm saying buy a good product, you will have a good result. This is soaking. I'm going to drain this water off while that boils. Once that comes to a rolling boil, add your rice. I have a 15% off coupon for you from Aahu Barah. You can check the link down below and purchase the most amazing bag of rice that you have ever had in your life. In my sink, I've placed a colander because this part, which is basically step 2 of this process, takes about 5 minutes. So I'm going to set my timer here for 5 minutes. We don't want to walk away from this in the meantime. Okay, now I'm going to add some water, about a half a cup of water, and turn this heat back on. And now you will not have any issues with, and this is all going to melt again, okay? This is normal, okay? Anybody who tells you that's not normal or that never happens to them is not telling you the truth, okay? You can see now you have a beautiful dark colored. We're going to check on our rice. It's at 37 seconds away from the timer going off. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to check it. What we're looking for is we want it to be able to break, but give a little bit of resistance, okay? There you go. And then that's what you want, okay? So this is done. It's 5 minutes, finished. Now we're going to go over and we're going to drain this. I'm going to put a little bit of oil on the bottom of the pan so that it doesn't stick, and if it does, it'll get nice and crunchy. Into the pan. Here is our color. Look at that. Look at that. We're going to add that. Here I have some Char masala. We're actually in testing with some spice companies to make our own blend. And I'm going to add about 2 teaspoons of this Char masala. We're going to poke some holes because we want this to steam, okay? So all that liquid that was in there is supposed to steam out. I have preheated my oven to 450 degrees. Put some paper towel down inside of that. We want to create a really tight seal around this. And then I'm going to put the top on this. And we're going to put this in the oven at 425 degrees for about 10 minutes. And then we're going to turn the heat all the way down to 300 degrees. And we're going to cook it for another 20 minutes. So we'll see you once that's done. This is very hot. It just came out of the oven. So you want to be very careful. Do not touch it with your hands. Look at that. Fluffy rangaruji. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe, you're already here, why not? Hit the bell notification so we know every time we have a new video. And leave a comment, what's your favorite carb? I'm actually really curious, what is your favorite carb? For Afghans, it's clearly rice and bread. Until next time. Dinner!